Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Algorithm Classroom. Today, we're going to talk about the Kruskal algorithm, also known as the Kruskal's minimum spanning tree algorithm. It's a classic and widely used technique in graph theory. It might sound a bit complex at first, but the core idea is actually simple and intuitive, and it's not hard to implement. Let's start with a real-world analogy. Imagine you're an electrical engineer assigned to connect several cities by laying cables. The cost of connecting each pair of cities is different. Your job is to make sure all the cities are connected so that any city can reach any other one, but at the lowest possible total cost. In other words, you need to carefully select which cable routes to build so that the entire network is connected without spending more than necessary. This is essentially a minimum spanning tree problem. You might be wondering, what kind of rules or patterns should such a network follow? There are two key principles. First, the network must not contain any cycles. A cycle means that there's more than one way to get between some cities, which introduces redundancy and adds unnecessary cost. Second, for a network with n cities, the minimum spanning tree will always contain exactly n-1 edges. That's a fundamental result from graph theory. Now let's see how Kruskal's algorithm solves this problem. The core idea is this. We start by sorting all the edges, that is, all possible connections between two cities, by cost from smallest to largest. Then, we go through these edges one by one. For each edge, we check if the two cities it connects are already part of the same connected network. If they're not, that means it's safe to add the edge. But if they are already connected, then adding that edge would create a cycle, so we skip it. We repeat this process until we've selected n-1 edges and all cities are connected. To make this clearer, let's look at a visual example. In this graph, there are 5 vertices labeled A, B, C, D, and E. The edges and their weights are shown in the diagram. Our goal is to find the minimum spanning tree of this graph. First, we sort all the edges by weight in ascending order. After sorting, the order is AC with weight 1, DE with weight 2, CD with weight 3, followed by CE, BC, BD, and finally AB with weights of 4, 5, 6, and 7 respectively. Now let's walk through Kruskal's algorithm step by step. The first edge is AC with weight 1. A and C are not connected yet, so we select this edge and add it to our spanning tree. Next is DE with weight 2. D and E are not connected either, so we add this edge too. The third edge is CD with weight 3. C and D are in different connected components, so adding this edge won't create a cycle. We include it as well. At this point, we've selected 3 edges, connecting A, C, D, and E, 4 out of the 5 vertices. Next is CE with weight 4. But when we check, we see that C and E are already connected. Adding this edge would form a cycle, so we skip it. Moving on to BC with weight 5. C is already in the tree, but B is not. Adding this edge doesn't create a cycle, so we include it. Now we've selected 4 edges and connected all 5 vertices. Since a minimum spanning tree for 5 nodes always has 4 edges, the algorithm is complete. The final minimum spanning tree consists of the edges AC, DE, CD, and BC. Their weights are 1, 2, 3, and 5, giving us a total cost of 11. Let's review the key operations of Kruskal's algorithm. Besides sorting the edges, there are 2 main actions: checking if adding an edge will form a cycle, and adding the edge to the tree if it doesn't. These 2 tasks are exactly what the union-find data structure is optimized for. With union-find, we can efficiently check if 2 nodes are in the same set, that is, whether they're already connected. If they're not, we can merge them, which corresponds to adding the edge to our tree. So next, let's take a quick look at the Python implementation of Kruskal's algorithm. First, we introduce a union-find class that supports both path compression and union by rank, 2 techniques that make it extremely efficient. If you're not familiar with union-find, I recommend watching another video on this channel that explains it in detail. In our implementation, we make a small modification to the union method so that it returns false if the merge fails and true if it succeeds. This way, we can easily tell whether a given edge should be added to the minimum spanning tree. Inside the Kruskal function, we first sort all the edges by weight in ascending order. Then we loop through each edge, using the union function to check if it can be added. If it can, we add it to our minimum spanning tree and update the total cost. We continue until we've added n-1 edges. There's also a helper function called prepareIndexedGraph, which maps string labels like A, B, and C to integer indices. We need this because UnionFind works with integer inputs by default. Another function called RestoreMSTLabels converts those indices back to their original string labels for a more readable result. The graph we use here matches the one shown earlier in the visual example. Next comes the main program logic. First, we pre-process the graph using prepareIndexedGraph. Then, we call the Kruskal function to run the algorithm, and finally convert the result back using RestoreMSTLabels. We print out the edges in the minimum spanning tree and the total weight. Finally, let's talk about the time complexity of Kruskal's algorithm. The most time-consuming step is sorting the edges by weight. If we use an efficient sorting algorithm, this step takes O of E log E time, where E is the number of edges in the graph. After sorting, we iterate through the edges and use UnionFind to check whether adding each edge would create a cycle. Thanks to path compression and union by rank, each UnionFind operation has an almost constant amortized time complexity. As a result, the overall time complexity of Kruskal's algorithm is O E log E, which makes it highly efficient, especially for large graphs. And that wraps up our full introduction to Kruskal's minimum spanning tree algorithm. I hope this explanation helped you understand both the theory and the implementation clearly. See you in the next video.